And now we come to step 11. Shulchan Aruch, eating the festive meal. It's called implementation, doing it. After the first 10 steps, which train us to integrate spiritual freedom into our material lives, because remember, freedom is only possible when you reach something that is spiritual. Materialism traps us. Materialism enslaves us. It can be addictive, it can control us, it seduces us into thinking we're secure. Real freedom and emancipation and redemption comes from the spiritual, but we need to integrate that spiritual freedom into our material beings. After those first 10 steps, now what? Here comes a meal. But it's a new meal. It's a meal that we're supposed to experience like never before, to prove and demonstrate that our newfound experiences, our newfound spiritual freedom that has been integrated in our material life is now manifest in the way we eat this meal. Eating an entire meal in an entirely new way, permeated with a sense of higher presence and godliness. Because as we spoke about in the previous step, 10, the sandwich, it's all part of a glorious journey, all part of the mission for which we are charged. So now that we have those 10 steps, we can enter a meal and eat it, a material meal, physical meal, but with higher spiritual consciousness, and appreciate it as such. I believe in our time, because we've been affected and impacted so much by all the stuff that has upended and disrupted our lives, it makes it easier to recognize that a meal should be appreciated. It's not just another meal. It's a meal that's a blessing, that you have the opportunity to take a material food, consume it, but consume it part of a Seder. So Shulchan Aruch is not outside of the journey. It's all part of the 15-step journey, because it's necessary to integrate all these truths and all these higher awareness into our regular lives. Because the goal, of course, is then to take all of this and bring it into our lives even after Pesach, even after the Seder, even after the holiday. Because the goal is integration. And here's our first chance. A meal that follows 10 steps that taught us higher spiritual truths, how to access spiritual freedom and integrate it in our material lives. And now, here's the first litmus test. Here's your meal. How will you eat this meal? Speak about this. Even as you eat whatever the meal, whatever is on the menu, even if it's delicious food, I'm sure it will be. Speak about how we can take a meal and turn it into a sacred experience. This meal becomes part of the journey toward redemption.